Hello, and thank you for taking the first step into getting pre-qualified for a home mortgage. Today we're going to walk you through step by step how to complete my online application. It's very easy to do. We're going to start off by going to my website, which is www.loansbycody.com. So this is our website. From here, you're going to click on the Apply Now link. You're going to agree to these three boxes. So you're just going to check those and then click Confirm. And then from here, we're going to type in an email address. You can use any of your email addresses will work. I'm going to use my personal one here, which is loansbycody@gmail.com. And then a password. This password needs to be at least 8 characters. Doesn't have to include any numbers, but I recommend you do. Again, you're going to repeat that password here. And then this is where you're going to select it to ask you a secret question if you forget your password. And for those of you who have been in my office, you've probably met Wilbur. He's my pet's name. And then you're going to enter this code here, just as it shows, capitalized or lowercase. Then you click Enter to create an account. So we're going to just use a fictitious name here. So we're going to call this one, my first name is going to be Test. My middle initial will be A. My last name will be Mortgage. Type in your phone number. You don't need to use any dashes. And then your email address should already be inputted. And then your date of birth. Make sure I'm old enough here. Years in school, just give me the most accurate number you can. This would include K through 12 and then any college. If you're married or not married, today I'm going to be not married. Don't tell my wife. And then dependents. So these will be dependents under the age of 18. So I have one kid at 4 years old. And then your current address. So I'm just going to use my office address here. And then they want to know how long you've been at this address. We're going to put 2 years. If you put less than 2 years, you'll be prompted to put in any of your prior addresses. And on this property that you live in now, do you own or rent? We're going to put own. And then mailing address. If you use a P.O. box or somebody else's address, you can put that here. If you do not, then just click this box to use your current address. And this is where you put in any of your previous addresses if you lived at your current home for less than 2 years. If you had a co-borrower, you could put their information in here. But today I'm single, no co-borrowers. All right, once you're done, go to the next step, step 2. Click here to complete. This is where a lot of people get hung up, is subject property address. Most likely you don't have a property you're in contract on yet. So right here we can just put TBD. And then you can put the city if you want. If you didn't want to, you could also put TBD there. And then just give me an idea of what zip code you're looking at and what county. This purpose of loan, we will most likely be using purchase or refinance are the two most common. Property will be primary residence for us today, but if you're buying a second home in a different part of the country, you can click here, or if you're buying an investment property, you can click here. If you were doing a construction loan, which we're not, we're going to fill out this section here. So we're going to leave that blank for today. If you are refinancing, you can put this information in here. This is something you can leave blank. I'm going to go into the county records and look up this information, so you don't need to know this offhand. Who's going to be on title? Today it's just going to be me, test mortgage. The how title will be held, you can leave blank. We'll fill that in for you. Then we're going to go to step 3, loan terms and mortgage type. Click here to complete. Today we're going to be doing a conventional mortgage. You can give me an estimate here. You can also leave this blank and we can fill it in for you. But today we're going to pretend that we're buying a house or a mortgage in the $250,000 range. Interest rate, again, you can leave this blank here. We'll use 4 1/8 for today, and then we want a 30-year fix, which would be 360 months, and we want a fixed rate. Again, you can leave this section blank and we'll fill it in for you. Most likely we're going to be changing it anyways. Okay, now we're going to go to step 4, employment history. So we want your current employer. If you're self-employed, check this box here. If you know the address, type it in. If you don't, you can leave it blank. And I work in Washington. Position, this is handy to have, but again, you can leave it blank. So we'll put mortgage advisor for me. Spell check does work here. Years on the job. I've been on my job for 12 years and 12 years in my industry. Business phone is handy. If you have it handy, put it in there. If not, you can leave it blank. Alright, so if you've been at this job for less than 2 years, then you're going to want to fill out this section for each employer within that 2-year time frame. Once you've done that, you're going to click here to complete section 5, which is the income. Here you can use a rough estimate. Just give me your total adjusted gross income. You can give it to me hourly, you can give it to me annually. So we'll just use $50,000 here, for example. If you had any other income, alimony, child support, some other common ones are rental income or pension, Social Security, overtime. This is where you'd plug in any of that income. This section is important to fill out the best of your abilities. It doesn't need to be 100% accurate, but to give me a good idea of what you're going to be able to qualify for, this section is really important to fill out. After you're done, step 6, click here to complete. This is going to be any of your bank accounts. Rough estimates is fine. You don't need to give me to the exact penny. We're going to collect your bank statements and I'll update it for you. But you can just put what you think your average balance in your checking account is. We'll use $2,000 here, and then we'll do a savings account with, let's say, $20,000 in it. That's what we'll use for my down payment, $20,000. Again, rough numbers are fine. If you had any retirement funds, anything like that, you can fill out this section here. Don't worry about the automobiles. Go ahead and leave that blank. And again, rough estimates. If you don't have this information handy, just leave it blank. Housing expense, click here to complete. Step 7. What are you currently paying for rent or for your mortgage? Let's say I'm currently paying $1,200 a month for my mortgage, and my homeowner's insurance is $50, and I pay $200 a month for my real estate taxes. I don't have mortgage insurance. Again, rough estimates here is fine. If you own any property, you're going to click here to complete on step 8, real estate owned. If you own any rental properties or any other second homes, go ahead and fill out this section here. If not, leave it blank. Step 9, declarations. Here you're just going to answer these questions, yes or no. Are there any outstanding judgments against you? If the answer is no, then just leave it blank. If the answer is yes, you check this box. Have you declared bankruptcy in the last 7 years? This would be a Chapter 13 or a Chapter 7. Click here. Have you had any property foreclosed? If yes, click here. Are you a party of a lawsuit? If yes, click here. Have you directly or indirectly been obligated on any loan which resulted in foreclosure? So it's asking you if you co-signed for anybody that foreclosed in the last 7 years. Click here. Are you presently delinquent or in default on any federal debt? This would be like a student loan or something like that. Click yes if the answer is no. Leave blank. Are you paying any alimony or child support? You would click here if the answer is yes. Is or will any part of the down payment being borrowed? So if you're borrowing any money for your down payment, click here for yes. This does not include receiving a gift for your down payment. Are you a co-signer on anybody else's mortgage? Are you a U.S. citizen? Click here. If the answer is no, then are you a permanent resident alien on line 11? You would click here for yes. Do you intend to occupy this property as your primary residence? I'm going to click yes because we are. Have you had any ownership interest in a property in the last 3 years? So if you've owned a property in the last 3 years, you'll click here. And then step 10, acknowledge an agreement. This is a government survey that is required. You can click I do not wish to furnish this information. It just wants to know your ethnicity. I personally am not Hispanic or Latino. I am a white and I am male. Alright, so here we are almost done. The last step is you're just going to go ahead, I know it's awkward, but you're going to go ahead and sign your name the best you can. What this is going to do is give me permission to pull your credit report. We will be calling you before we do so. Now you will notice that on here, the one question that was not asked was for your Social Security number. I will be calling you to get this. We don't like to ask for it over the internet. So from here, go ahead and click Accept Signature and then Send Application. Now once I receive your application, I'll be reaching out to you within 24 hours. A lot of times it's within an hour or so. Once I receive your application, you're going to receive an email from me. In that email is going to be a list of documentation we're going to need, such as W-2s, pay stubs, tax returns, those type of items. And you will also receive in the body of the email a link to an online estimate. This will be our main tool going forward to communicate what the numbers look like, to customize this estimate to match exactly what you're looking for. So there you go. If you have any questions, you can reach me at any time at 360-991-8920. Thanks, and we'll be talking to you guys soon.